Okay. There we go. Oops. Okay. It should be going. Oh, hi, my one viewer. I'm just making sure everything's going according to plan. You actually came earlier than expected. Um, Welcome, I guess. So, hello. Let's see. Give me one moment, please. Okay, so yeah, actually, everything's going pretty good. I'm just gonna go real quick, go to my channel, and get the URL. So that way I can post it everywhere. Okay. What would you think? I sometimes really cannot stand my channel. There we go. I hope this works out pretty good. I mean, I haven't done this before, as you could probably guess from the way this is going. But private. Why is this private? Edit video. Hang on a second. This should not be private. Public. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Well, it should be public. This is not going according to plan exactly. Tweeted, Facebook. Okay. Just making sure everything's gonna be fine. Oops, hang on a second. Okay. Ow. God damn my back. Oh, okay. 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 I'm just making sure that for those of you that are already tuning in, just making sure that everything's going according to plan, that there's no problems, no hassles. So yeah. Okay. Everything should be fine actually. So all right. Okay. So now for the actual official intro. Oh dear. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's been... My apologies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. After months of absence, I'm proud to announce that Comic Kid Guru is making a return. Yes, I... This is kind of, like, this is new to me, like, the whole live stream aspect. I mean, I did live streams on Xbox a couple times, but in reality, I never really did anything like this before. But I have one more little thing as a kind of bonus as to me coming back. Hey, okay, it's my face. This is something new, I guess you could say, and hopefully it works out. So yes, this is me. This is the man with the voice. This is Comic Kid Guru at his core. A Marvel nerd and an Alien fan. Yes. So yeah, I apologize to all of you, all my subscribers and everybody, and my viewers who would keep up with me. These past few months have been a lot of work. I recently, my last episode was a week before my junior year in high school. So it just barely started. And, yeah, the first week, the week after the Game of Thrones episode, we had a vacation to San Antonio. And then after that, it became a football game. Or I was just really tired from the first week of school, and it just became excuse after excuse. And at that point, I just stopped, and it became that Friday was just a busy, lazy day for me because it's the aftermath of the week of school, so it made it really hard to really do anything. But a lot's happened the past few months. Don't think for a second that because I've been busy, I haven't been keeping up to date with movies or TV or anything, because believe me, I have. It's just I haven't been up to date with my actual channel, which is a real shame because I actually really enjoy doing this, and I should be able to keep up to date with it, really. And I kind of let myself down and some of my viewers down, so I apologize, but I'm back, and hopefully I'll be able to keep the schedule this time. But I like, more than anything, I really needed this because this week has been a pretty crappy week. A lot's happened, and it's just nice to kind of just talk, really just talk about anything, about movies, about shows, about anything. And I decided to do it live also this time because it's kind of one-on-one, I'll be able to, you can comment and conversate with me, and I'll be able to answer your questions. Like, if you have any questions, like, of my thoughts on anything, like, feel free to ask. So, yeah. a lot's happened actually in movies and TV recently, and Hollywood in general, especially. And God, I mean, Hollywood's been pretty bad lately. A lot of stuff happened. There's been a lot of accusations, and whatnot, sexual stuff, and a lot of surprising actors are coming out, and not even actors, but producers, directors, etc. So it's kind of wow. So that's happened. A lot's happened trailer-wise. Most recently, the Infinity War trailer, which I don't have an Avengers shirt on, which is a real darn shame, but I have a Gladiator Hulk here with me, so that's about as recent Marvel as I got. But it's a bit like that Infinity War trailer was a really awesome trailer, and it was kind of a shocker because I saw the Infinity War trailer when it was leaked from Comic-Con. Was it leaked for Comic-Con or was it leaked from D23? I think it was from Comic-Con. Yeah. I saw the trailer there, and there I loved it especially. Like, I really liked it, and I was really impressed by it. But of course, it was crappy quality. I mean, it was leaked, so it's not going to look the best. But man, I've lost my train of thought. Oh, anyways, but like this week, all of a sudden, it's the Infinity War trailers coming out, and I'm just like, what? Like, what? So I mean, it was really cool because it came out, and then, it was really good. It wasn't a teaser by any means. Like, it really wasn't a teaser. It was, well, to a certain degree, it was a teaser, but it was more of a full-on trailer than a teaser. Like, you know how movies sometimes, they bring you out that teaser, and like sometimes the teaser is even a minute, but it doesn't show you much. It's just some scenes, not any dialogue, not really anything. The first Star Wars: The Last Jedi trailer was a teaser. The Just Breathe, and whatever. But this was like a full-length trailer released first, like, to the public. So I'm just like, yes, but it was freaking awesome. Literally, how I saw it, it was pretty funny because I got home from school, and then my friend tagged me in a meme. It was an Office meme, but like, it was pretty funny because it said when you realize the Avengers Infinity War trailer is coming out, and it was Michael Scott running, say get out of the way, and he was pushing everybody out of the way to go see it. I guess it was when they did the fire drill. Hi Ernest, hi Amanda, and hi Sebastian. How are y'all doing today? Anyways, so I saw it, and then we were like, oh yeah, there's an Infinity War trailer. So I immediately go and I see it, and I loved it. In my first period, I was actually screaming in chair. Everybody questioned my insanity. My sanity, actually, not insanity. And it was really cool. But then I saw it there, and like I was doing, it's U.S. history, so we were doing like a biplane project. Like, we build like a little paper biplane. It's regular U.S. history. And I saw it, and then we did like this thing called a Kahoot quiz. I'm sure most of you know what a Kahoot quiz is, at least the people that I know. But if you don't know a Kahoot quiz, it's a quiz that they basically put on a computer, like the teacher puts, and then you can access it with your phone or a computer, and you just type in the answer. Like, it's like green, red, blue, and yellow color, and you go do it corresponding to the answer. And if you get it right, you get points and stuff. And my teacher does it a lot for like vocabulary. Anyways, we did it, and I got first place, which is as usual. And then out of nowhere, I mean, I was shocked. He put the Infinity War trailer, and I'm just like, ah! Like, yes, thank you very much. I get to see it on there, and I'm just like, oh, I saw this like 30 minutes ago, like 5 times. So by that time, it was pretty cool. Everybody was like asking me questions and stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm comic kid guru no matter what. Lame. Anyways, but all that was another reason why I kind of wanted to come back, is because like when I first started this podcast, the Infinity War trailer came out, leaked, and now it came out here. So milestone. Anyways, so that was that. And ironically, the whole Infinity War trailer, in my opinion, was better than the hour and 54 minutes of Justice League. Don't get me wrong, I like Justice League. It was actually an enjoyable movie, but it ain't no Wonder Woman. Oh God, it ain't no Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman set the bar. Honestly, like there was a lot of good superhero movies out this year. Note also, keep in mind, almost none by DC are good. With the exception of the Dark Knight trilogy, and anything prior to the Dark Knight trilogy, DC movies are trash. Don't let anybody tell you different. They're enjoyable movies. They're enjoyable movies, yes. Such as... Okay, well, I hate Man of Steel, personally. I think Superman sucks in these. But, Batman vs. Superman... The last hour is enjoyable when it's actually Batman and Superman. They fight, then they get together like in 10 minutes after a fight, and then Wonder Woman comes out and then steals the show because she's freaking Wonder Woman. And then Suicide Squad. Okay, I have something to confess. Suicide Squad is a terrible movie, but it's my guilty pleasure movie. So, I don't know really what to say there. I probably just lost like a lot of credibility, but it's a guilty pleasure movie of mine. While it is not a very good movie by any means necessary, it is actually not a bad... It's enjoyable, I'll give it that. At least 2 out of the characters are enjoyable to watch. But even then, Suicide Squad, it's terrible. Although, entertainment-wise, at least entertainment-wise, Suicide Squad was better than Batman vs. Superman. And Man of Steel. Anything's better than Man of Steel, honestly, which is really saying something. But Wonder Woman, I mean, went high up on that list. It shocked me and my dad both. Because, I mean, it's a DC movie. Well, granted, while I was looking forward to it because of the trailers and stuff, and it's Wonder Woman, I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I mean, for me personally, it's superhero movie of the year. I saw, I think, every superhero movie out. Yeah, I did. For me, it would have to be Wonder Woman, and then it would have to be Logan, because how the hell can you be Logan? It's freaking Logan. Like, which finally my friend Amanda saw it. Took you long enough. Then I would have to put Spider-Man Homecoming, because I really like Spider-Man Homecoming. I thought it was a very good movie. Tom Holland did a great job as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Granted, anybody could play Spider-Man, but he nailed it as Peter Parker. Then Thor Ragnarok. Thor was really good. Sometimes a little bit too comedic at times. Like when something dark would happen or something, maybe like a minute later there'd be another joke, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay. But the banter between Thor, Hulk, and those two, I mean, it was really cool. And it worked out really cool. It actually changed a good amount in the Marvel universe, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not too much in the aspect of the full scale, but more in the Thor world. And there was a couple shockers in there, but none too great. But it was a really good movie. Like, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely the best out of the Thor movies. And I would say one of the better standalone films. Like, I think the best standalone film still is Winter Soldier. And then after that, it would probably be Civil War. Granted, Civil War's plot you can pick piece by piece, and it's kind of faulted. But definitely Civil War. And then the first Iron Man. I mean, you can't beat the first Iron Man. It started it all, and it's really good. But it's definitely the best out of the Thor movies. What would be after Thor? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. While I don't hate the movie, and while I don't think it's a bad movie by any means, it's definitely the weakest of the bunch of Marvel movies this year. I expected more going into it, because granted, with the first movie, I didn't think too much of it when I saw the trailers and whatnot. And then I saw it, and I honestly loved the movie. I thought it was freaking great. And I saw it like 100 times. I got the Blu-ray, I got the figures, I got the everything. And Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I went to the movies to go see it. It was a double feature. Granted, it was right after seeing Wonder Woman. Again, it's Wonder Woman. It was kind of just a disappointment. But I saw it again and again when it came out on video, and it actually grew on me, and it's actually not a bad movie. In fact, I actually really enjoy it. And also, not only that, the soundtrack grew on me. Granted, the soundtrack is not as good as Volume 1 soundtrack. It's really good. You got some Fleetwood Mac, you got some Glenn Campbell. What else? You got ELO. So you got some pretty good music in there. But that's there. And then bottom of the list is Justice League. I mean, there's no denying it. It's not a bad movie, but it's definitely not a big wow movie either. I mean, everything else is a lot better than Justice League. Which I'm really happy, though, that in Justice League, first of all, I guess you can consider this a spoiler, but honestly, it's pretty self-explanatory. Superman's back, and they don't make him depressing Superman. For once in the DCEU, they do not make Superman depressing. He comes in and, immediately with Steppenwolf, he's cracking wits, he's saying things, he's acting like Superman did in the comics, and not only that, but the Christopher Reeve Superman. How long did it take you to do that? Then not only that, but it took you to get rid of Hans Zimmer, which, don't get me wrong, one of my favorite composers. But his Superman theme for Man of Steel, while it is a good theme, a standalone, it is a terrible, terrible Superman theme. I mean, it is just, the build-up is just so slow, and then the delivery is just, for Superman, it just doesn't work for me. For me personally. It took them to get Danny Elfman back, the original composer of the Batman 1989 film, of the 89 Batman film, to bring back the Superman theme. And, not only that, bring back the Batman theme. Granted, it's not the okay, it's the 89 one. Okay, it's the 89 Batman theme that they use for the Michael Keaton movies and for the animated series. Basically, the Batman theme. It's not the big drums, boom, boom noise of Dark Knight, but it's Batman. You hear it and you're like, yeah, that's Batman. Granted, a lot of it sounded, and a lot of the movie itself reminisced of Avengers in a way, but not too terribly bad. The soundtrack, I read the comment section because the soundtrack got released maybe like a week before the movie. So it was on YouTube. It was posted on YouTube, and I saw the comments and I listened to it, And everybody was just like, it sounds too much like Age of Ultron. It sounds like Spider-Man. Really? What did you expect? I mean, it's the same composer. The music's gonna sound the same. You get Hans Zimmer's music, it sounds the same. Granted, it's different in ways, but it's basically the same sound. You get John Williams music automatically. If you get if you were to listen to the Star Wars soundtrack, the Indiana Jones soundtrack, anything by John Williams, Harry Potter even, you can automatically guess that's John Williams. Yeah, it sounds like John Williams. Why? Because their music all sounds the same. How do you expect it to sound? Think. Like, come on. So, I mean, the biggest thing, the soundtrack gets a good rep for me. But some people, they just like to complain, honestly. So that was Justice League. I would give Justice League, like, a solid 7.5. I'd give it a solid 7.5. I'm not gonna spoil too many of the scenes, but there's some pretty cool scenes in the beginning, like when they're doing the whole thing, backstory behind like Steppenwolf and everybody. But it wasn't a bad flick. It was enjoyable for what it was. It should have been longer. Definitely. I can already tell you that, like every other DC movie, when it comes out on Blu-ray, there's probably gonna be like an added 30, 50 minutes of an extended cut. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so that was Justice League, and then what else did I see? Oh, I finally saw Murder on the Orient Express. I saw that like a day after it came out. I thought that one was really good. Granted, like a lot of these movies aren't getting too well received by critics, and I'm just like, okay. I bring back my point from, I believe, episode 2, episode 3. Don't follow what critics say always. They're mostly biased at times. Believe it or not. Always go by your own judgment when you watch movies. So, which also leads me to like bad movies. Suicide Squad. Oh my god, something in my throat. Anyways, I had been reading the reviews, and I saw the reviews, and I'm just like, ew, they don't look very good. So I was going into the movie, I'm just like, don't tell me it's not like the book. Don't tell me it's like this. It's boring. It's that. It wasn't by any means. Well, I haven't exactly finished the book. I read like halfway, 3/4 of it. And I mean, it was pretty much all there. The only thing that wasn't really there is probably the beginning area with Kenneth Branagh and Jerusalem. Like, that wasn't really there. They just added that for effect and for exposition. But I thought it was really good. Cinematically, the movie's amazing, dude. Like, ever since I took audio video and now I'm taking advanced audio video, I can't help but notice transitions, camera angles, different ways that the movie shot cinematically, and I'm just like, this is a damn good movie, watching it like that. Yeah, like, it's not really a spoiler because obviously it's called Murder on the Orient Express, but my favorite shot in the movie has to be when Akupa and the conductor and the person in charge of the train, like the general, I guess you could say general manager of the train for the trip, they find the body, it's shot really well because it's not a very like it's not a standard shot. What they do is they put the camera overhead on the set, and it's a continuous shot. Like there's no cuts, there's no nothing until like the very end when Hercule and not the conductor, the general manager are talking in the room next to them. It doesn't cut to them, but the whole time you don't see the body at all. You see the body in the movie later on when they go to inspect it, but at first you don't see it. You're just left wondering what does it look like and stuff. And it's just a nice continuous shot of overhead. And while it may seem lame when you watch it, it's just like this looks really nice. Like it looks really cool. What else? The movie, like I said, I didn't finish the book because I'm lame. But the movie, hang on, cord. It had a good twist to it in the story. I've seen the movie twice in the theaters, and that's probably about as many times as I will be seeing it in the theaters. And the first time I saw it, I enjoyed it. And surprisingly, like, I thought I was going to, like, the second time I saw it, I wasn't going to enjoy it because I already know what happens. It's a mystery movie, so it's kind of like, it'll probably be boring the second time. Nah, it was actually still enjoyable the second time. And when I saw it, the second time I saw it, I went with my two friends, Ernest and Jaime. Shout out to them, by the way. And they hadn't seen it before, and I had, of course. So so it was kind of interesting seeing the reactions to everything, and I'm like, I know what happens. And by the way, when I went, the popcorn there, like for like probably one of the few times I managed to finish a tub of popcorn in the first 10 minutes of a movie. In a large tub. And then got a refill and then finished that one towards the end by the end of the movie. It was fresh, it was good. But they hadn't seen it. And then when it gets to the end, when everything's getting revealed, my friend Jaime, he's just like, what? Like he's so flabbergasted by everything. And it was the funniest thing ever. And then like the theater was like, it was like at a small theater, and it was pretty full for being the size of it, and all you hear is Ernest and Jaime, and they're going back and forth, and they're like, how is that even possible and whatnot. And one moment, I'm back. What was I saying? Oh, anyway, so they're going back and forth. Humanoid from the deep. Dad, will you shut up? So we get like all you hear is them going back and forth, and one's just like, "There's no way it could be like that. There's no way," and the other one's just like, "Shut up!" And then it's just like, and my other friend Ernest, he's just like, "It's all like this. It's like this. It was this," and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, will you guys shut up and watch the movie? Like it was hilarious. And then afterwards, my friend Jaime was just like, I still can't believe it, man. And I'm just like, dude, come on. Like, it made me laugh. It was funny. It's always cool to hang out with them. But Morelia Orient Express I really enjoyed, start to finish. No bore, I didn't get bored once. both times. I didn't get bored. And I give, me personally, more Orient Express, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Shut up! Oops. Ernest, okay. The movie did not have a ridiculous ending. Think about it in the aspect of you're actually human. Like, I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but come on, Ernest. Think with your head for once. It is not ridiculous. It's fine. Yes, but never mind. Don't read the comments. That was Murder on the Orient Express. What else have I seen since my last inning? I've seen a lot, okay? I think before I stopped, I don't ever think I talked about It. I didn't talk about It. So, It 2017. Okay. Okay. So It 2017 surprised me. Like, okay. I've only seen the movie twice. And I saw it once when it came out, and then like 2 weeks later I saw it online. Oops. So it's kind of not that fresh in my memory. The experience is fresh in my memory. So if you recall, the first episode, I said that the movie was just gonna be scares and CGI and all this stuff, and it was, but you could tell that Stranger Things had a huge impact on the new It movie. Like, it's honestly like a solid Goonies adventure, except rated R and messed up. And there's stuff that happens in that movie that, Jesus Christ, you showed that. It's been months since the movie came out, so I'm probably gonna be full spoilers. So you've been warned. If you have not seen It, click away and then come back, or just skip ahead, or mute, and I'll go like this whenever I'm done talking about spoilers. Okay. So I go to the movies, right? And I'm expecting this movie to be a scare fest. But not a good, like a good movie, but not a good scare fest. And it's not going to be really freaky, because the trailers didn't freak me out. They didn't scare me. Like, my brother was like, oh, the entire time with the trailers. And I'm just like, really? Really? So I went into the movie being like, okay, I'm not going to get scared by this. One moment. So, going into it, I sit down, and I didn't get any popcorn or anything. Keep that in mind. I didn't get any food. I didn't get any popcorn. There was nothing. I had no food. And just to clarify, a thing about me, personally, when I'm nervous, I eat. I don't know. It's something about keeping my mouth occupied. It's like biting my nails, but like better. Anyways, so we go sit down, and it's the beginning, and I'm like, Now, keep in mind, remember, it's going to be spoilers. I'll wave my hands when there's no spoilers. I'm just sitting there chilling. Hiya, Georgie. Out comes Pennywise and I'm just like, okay, you're pretty creepy. And then Pennywise tells Georgie to grab the boat. And by this time, I'm already getting nervous, okay? I'm already getting scared and creeped out by this freaking clown. So I'm starting to eat my dad's popcorn. It was like, I just start reaching over and eating my dad's popcorn, which I know he's watching this right now in the kitchen, so sorry. So Georgie reaches for the boat. And keep in mind, the only Pennywise we got was Tim Curry, which he did great. He did great. But there really, like, there wasn't that much, like, gore or anything. Like, they really didn't show anything. I mean, also, it's a freaking kid. How are you going to show the death of a kid? You know, you can't get away with that, especially for being a TV miniseries. So, Georgie reaches for the boat. And Pennywise's eyes change. And the structure of his mouth, much like in the Tim Curry one, except it doesn't cut. You see him chomp down on Georgie's arm. And the next scene you see, Georgie's squirming without an arm. And Pennywise's arm reaches out and grabs him and pulls him in. Jesus Christ. It's like a 7-year-old kid. Probably not even 7. And you showed that, like. So by that point, I'm just like, this movie is going to mess me up. So I'm getting freaked out either way. You know, and a lot of it was jump scare, and I got freaked out. But the biggest one happened. It's the scene from the trailers with the projector room. And they're going over the whole thing of Derry and everything, the map. And like, oh, Pennywise, he's in the well house. It's this, that, and the other thing. And then all of a sudden, the picture slideshow happens of like a family, except it's not a girl. You see Pennywise's face. And he's all showing up. And then it keeps flashing and flashing. And now all of a sudden he's not there. And you're just like, okay. Flashes again. Out pops huge Pennywise. Oh, Jesus Christ. That dude was huge. And he, like, his face was all retarded and stuff with, like, teeth hanging out. And I'm just like, I did not expect that at all. I believe there was a TV spot that showed that. I didn't see that TV spot. I didn't see it. So that was a new scene for me. When that happened, I was just like, oh, he's probably gone. Like, if something else happened. I didn't expect him to be like 8 feet tall and start hopping around. Like, doing all these weird laughs and stuff. You know, and the worst part was about seeing the movie? There was these two ladies, or they're not really ladies, probably like women in their 20s behind me. And at this point in the movie, when that happened, I go like this. That's my initial reaction. I jump there and I'm like, I'm having a heart attack. I'm spazzing out. And all I start hearing is laughing from these two women behind me. Now, were they laughing because they were nervous of the movie? Possibly. Or were they laughing at my reaction? I say it's the latter of the two options. That movie scared me. And honestly, the last time I went into a movie being that scared, what movie was it? It was probably Insidious 3. Really? That movie freaked me out. Like, there's this, like, in Insidious 3, the end scene, it's the freaking transvestite with the long hair and the gray lady, whatever, who turns out to be a guy. and all you see is his head in a black doorway. All you see is his head in a black doorway, and it's nothing else. It's just the face, and the dog's growling, "Arr." And it zooms in, and then out pops Darth Maul looking demon, and you're just like, "Ugh!" I screamed. I wasn't expecting that. Thankfully, the movie wasn't that packed, but I screamed and jumped, and that was about the word. That was about the scariest I've been until it. And then before that was The Conjuring. Jeez. Keep in mind, I'm talking about the movies. At home, it would be The Conjuring 2. Unless there was another movie. I see a lot of horror movies that scared me at home. But at the movies, it was The Conjuring. Really was the last big scary one. But it, oh my god. That movie frightened me. Oh, hey Valeria, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. So it was really good. It for me gets a solid 9.5 out of 10. I would say. You see my rating scale is kind of all botched, but remember, it's my personal opinion on it. If you didn't want my opinion on it, you wouldn't be here. So you obviously want it. But I thought the ending for it was pretty cool. Like, this is the last thing. As you know, the movie is just them as kids. So, and they set it up to where, I believe, is it 27 years? Let me look it up one moment. Actually, I think I can. Let me see something. Let me try this out. All right. He comes back. So it all works out to where Thanks, Vladimir. I really appreciate it. So it really, like, the way they worked it out, the year that they set the movie in, 27 years later, it'll be 2016 modern time. So they set it up really cool. So you already know that this is gonna be the first movie of 2. I doubt it'll be 3. Definitely 2. So it's pretty cool because it just ends with it, and then I think it said, did it say end of chapter 1 or just chapter 1? It said something like that, but I'm just like, yes. So that was pretty cool. And that was it. That was it of it. Hey, wordplay. So what else? Like I said, I saw a lot of movies, and a lot of it, it's been a while since I've done this, so I apologize. I'm trying to get all movies out of the way, and then I'll probably go into TV. Yeah. So what else? Saw those. I cannot think for the life of me. I'm trying to remember what movies I saw, which is weird because I remember most of the movies that I've seen. Let me see if I got any movie tickets. Justice League, Orient Express. I keep a lot of my movie tickets in my wallet. I like keeping ticket stubs. It's always been a thing of mine. Let's see. All these are pretty old though. Like I saw these not too long ago. Assassin's Creed. Ugh. I already talked about Thor. I already basically talked about all the. I already basically talked about all the superhero movies. Um. Have I just not gone to the movies that much? Yeah, I guess. I guess I haven't. I'm lame like that. Oh well. Um. So the only other thing I've really been doing is just the only other movies I've basically seen are all around the house. Like movies that I have and whatnot. Recently, I've seen the most recent movie I saw was Night of the Comet, which Amanda, you better see Night of the Comet when you get the chance, cause it's pretty good. Which is actually not a bad movie. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Post-apocalyptic. Comet basically comes and wipes everybody out, and there's just a couple people left in the world, and then a whole bunch of scientists and stuff happens, and it's pretty cool. I've been buying a lot of DVDs at the flea market. There's been a good amount of like things like this guy the other day, he sold 50-cent DVDs without a case. So I got a whole bunch of them. Haven't seen a lot of them. The only ones I saw was Casino Royale, which, believe it or not, I had not seen any of the James Bond movies with Daniel Craig before. And then I saw that Casino Royale, and I thought the Casino Royale was really good. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna watch all of them. Then I started Quantum of Solace, and that ended that. I know they probably get better. Like, I know Skyfall's really good. Like, I've heard Skyfall's really good. But Quantum of Solace is just so... Oh my god, dude. It's really boring. Like, it's not a very good Bond movie. I thought Casino Royale was really good. It didn't have a lot of action in it, but what it did have, it was good. Ending got me sad though, but really cool at the same time. So I saw those, and really, I mean, that's really it for movies. I can't think of anything that came out that I saw. Yeah. So those are the movies. Took us a whole hour just to talk about them all. Jesus Christ. TV wise, nothing big has happened TV wise since I left. Still looking forward to Westworld. Still waiting about a year and a half or so for Game of Thrones season 8. Oh, yeah. Little show called Walking Dead's back. I don't know what. Okay, to be honest, the season hasn't been that bad. It's moving at a better pace than last season did. Jesus Christ, last season. Oh my god, don't even get me started. Last season had an amazing opening. You know, you kill off 2 huge main characters, and you introduce the main villain from here to come, and it's just awesome. And then the rest of the season was just such a blowout. I mean, it's like you opened up. This isn't a Coke, but let's say you opened up a bottle of Coke. Nice fizz. You get first couple of sips, which I actually need a sipping on. First couple of sips. Nice and carbonated. Nice flavor. Okay. But after a while, that fizz and carbonation starts to go out. Especially the more you open it, and the more it keeps going. By the end of it, you have a flat soda. It doesn't taste very good. That's how Season 7 of The Walking Dead was. The more Season 7 kept going on, the more the season dragged and got worse and got worse, to where not even really the mid-season finale was something to remember, which is weird because there's always generally 4 episodes of The Walking Dead per season that you can look forward to. The premiere, the mid-season finale, the mid-season premiere, and the finale, the season finale. The first was good. The season premiere. Jesus Christ, awesome opening. The mid-season finale was a drag and it was a bust. You would not have guessed that it was a mid-season finale at all. It's just a regular episode, and that is not like The Walking Dead at all. The third episode, the mid-season premiere, you know how bad it was, probably? I don't even remember what the episode... Actually, okay, no. The mid-season finale had one cool moment in it. And that was because Daryl, Rick, Maggie, they were all separated. And then finally in the end, they're back together and they get their mojo back. Rick gets his pistol back. And, bromance between Rick and Daryl. And then things are about to go down. Or so you think. Because then the mid-season premiere comes. Nothing. I don't even remember the episode. That's how bad and how disappointing the mid-season premiere was last season. Okay? And then the rest of that half of the season, oh my god, it was such a bore to watch. You have Morgan and all his principals trying, we can't kill, I can't kill. Just grow a pair, Morgan. When he finally does grow a pair, he kills this innocent dude who basically had to kill an innocent to start a revolution that nobody had the balls to start. Really? You grow that angry that you have to kill him then? And instead of killing a savior, you kill one of your own. Que cabeza cabe, way. Come on. So it's a whole bunch of Morgan throughout it. And then the season finale wasn't actually that bad. Not the best one, but it wasn't bad. It was something. It was a battle at Alexandria. And for the most part, Rick and his gang get their asses kicked. Then out pops Shiva and King Ezekiel, and then they're saved and stuff. And then Negan's still cracking wits. You see everybody show up, and then he sees, oh my god, it's a revolution. We're going to war. Finally. And then here comes season 8. Okay. So going into season 8, I was looking forward to it. I was expecting miracles because of the last season. So at this point, I was getting near the point to where I'm Walking Dead out because of last season. But you know what? I'm going to keep up to date with it. I got off of Fear the Walking Dead for a reason. I'm not getting off of the regular show. So going into it, they were like, oh, it's the 100th episode of The Walking Dead. Okay. Impress me. We're going to have side-by-side shots. Side-by-side shots. Okay. They don't really have side-by-side shots, but they compare it. And it's just like, here is the first episode of AMC's The Walking Dead. And then here's the 100th episode. And it's just mirrored shots, and it's just kind of like, okay, that's kind of cool. Impress me. All the episode was you have shots of Rick's eyes as like he's crying or something. You have old man Rick running around with a cane. What's the song that plays in the background? Crap. I don't remember the name of the song in the background. It was like an 80s song that was played. Let me look it up. I'm kind of curious as to what the song is, because I guess I could go ahead and show you guys. Keep you guys. Well, anyways, I thought it was Another One Bites the Dust, but still, you hear that in the background, and so it's like, okay. And the episode, for one, it was quiet AF. Like, there wasn't even a lot of dialogue. And you just have Rick going, "We're gonna win. We've already won." Won what? There's nothing going on. You're just giving a battle screech and a battle speech. And Alexandria, I guess right after the Battle of Alexandria happens, so now you're getting ready to boot, scoot, and boogie over there. But, you know, you keep getting all these random shots, and it's just kind of like, okay. And then things happen, and Negan ends up in a trailer with Gabriel, with Father Gabriel, and you don't know what happens there until last week. Not last week's episode, but the week before last week. Yeah. Like 2 episodes ago, you find out what happened, and then, you know, you have that whole thing. They're taking pictures of saviors. You know, there's not really any battle going on. It's a 100th episode, and it was such a freaking drag. I mean, they advertised 100th episode, 100th episode, 100th episode of The Walking Dead. It was the biggest letdown in the history of 100th episodes. I don't know why TV shows cannot do a 100th episode correctly. I don't know why they just cannot do it. It takes them forever to get it right. I believe The Big Bang Theory had their 100th episode. That one was garbage. Family Guy's 100th episode. Don't even get me started on the Family Guy 100th episode. You know what their 100th episode was? All they did was they played flashbacks of other episodes with Seth MacFarlane interviewing random people that would watch the show when the show originally got canceled in like 1999 and before it came back. That's all it is, and it's just kind of like, what kind of an episode is that? I remember Supernatural's 100th episode. I remember they did their 100th episode. I think now they're already on their 200th episode, which, don't even get me started on Supernatural, okay? The 100th episode of Supernatural, I remember, it was a drag, it was a letdown, it was once again angels and demons, yada yada yada, heaven and hell, Sammy Dean, get out of here, okay? I don't know why. It's just so impossible to make a freaking 100th episode. So many times, instead of making a bomb-ass episode, an awesome episode, good story, good pacing, good everything, make it a good length, they decide to freaking reminisce to the first season, to the past season. We can reminisce on our own times. Have the reminiscing saved for the ninth season. I'm thinking of The Office. Till the last season. Then you can reminisce the entire season, and you remember, and you bring back the nostalgia, and then you get teary and misty-eyed, and the audience cries when it ends, and then you have nothing to go to. AKA The Office. I mean, honestly, like, sometimes I don't even know what to say. But that was the first episode of the season. However, the rest of the season has been pretty good, to be honest. The second episode was pretty good. We got an original, somebody from season 1 back. I think his name was Morales. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Didn't expect that one. Granted, the next episode, you know, Daryl shoots him in the back. But it was pretty cool seeing him back. It shows that was great because that just shows good characterization in the fact of how people can change from when you last saw them. You know, I remember watching Talking Dead, which I freaking hate Talking Dead. Chris Hardwick, if you're watching this, if you ever watch this, I hate you. Okay, I don't really hate you, but like, I don't like your show. I don't like Talking Dead. I think it's stupid. Anyways, like I remember they're like, well, Morales, will he change with Rick? Will he help Rick? And I'm just thinking, what obligation does he have to Rick? What possible obligation? The max that he knew Rick was a day, 2 days. That's it. He didn't know him like everybody else did. He didn't know Daryl. He didn't know everybody. He knew who they are. But other than that, I mean, they didn't stay together. They didn't do anything. So that, like, it's kind of like that, but it shows good characterization and how people go at different paths and how people change from when you first see them and yada, yada, yada. The basic characteristic shtick. Okay. That's right, Morales. Okay, so, and then you're going back with Morales, right? And I remember, like, everybody was like, what's Morales gonna do? Is he gonna shoot Rick? What's gonna happen? Is he gonna team with Rick? Is he gonna become the new villain? Daryl shoots him. Like that. Same episode. Probably like 5 minutes into it. Pretty funny. And then after that, that episode was pretty good. But then after that episode, you get a Carol, Ezekiel, and all them episode. And in that one, Ezekiel's basically like, I am not your king. You know, he's all questioning like his kinghood and stuff because like some sadistic savior that was keeping him prisoner. And so he was just questioning everything. Because a lot of his saviors also died that episode. I mean, not saviors. A lot of the kingdom people died that episode. And so thinking of that. Which then again, Jerry was the man in that episode, along with Carol. Anyway, so their whole objective was to infiltrate an outpost. They got ambushed by 50 cals, which Rick and Daryl are actually going after. Keep that in mind. Okay, so Carol's still in the shootout with like these 3 guys. Kills one of them. There's 2 guys left. And sees like Ezekiel and having trouble and stuff. So she goes to help them, obviously, because she's human. And the vehicle with the 50 cals get away. Oh shit! Negan's got 50 cals. They're gonna clear out the walkers. Literally, all you hear, like Carol, like Ezekiel just asked, should we inform Rick and the others and stuff? All you hear is the sound of Daryl's motorcycle in the background, and then it zooms in, and then it changes shot, and you see the truck. You see Daryl right behind it, and then you see Rick in a Jeep, and that was easily one of the coolest moments in The Walking Dead. You know, Rick goes full Indiana Jones, you know, evading a 50 cal. This guy's like, it looks like he's sitting on the pot shooting a 50 cal, sitting duck savior as they call him. You know, Daryl shoots him with on the motorcycle and stuff, does a really cool like drive by. Then Rick goes up to it, gets to the driver's side, hops from that vehicle onto there, Indiana Jones style, stabs the guy in the gut, and takes the vehicle out and gets the 50 cal and stuff. Jesus Christ, that was like, it's a lot cooler than what I made it sound, but it's a really cool scene. So that was a pretty good episode. And then after that, I think after that episode, it was the Savior episode with when you find out what happened to Negan and Gabriel. They're fine. That wasn't a terrible episode. You find out about Negan's past, about how he used to be a coach in high school and stuff, and how he had a wife and whatnot. What happened last week's? Last week's episode was kind of boring, if I remember. Yeah. Um, but so far it's going pretty good. The mid-season finale is coming up pretty soon. I think it's 2 episodes left, 1 episode left. I don't know. But it was really, really cool. So, I mean, that's pretty much like the only thing I'm keeping up to date with TV with is The Walking Dead. Everything else, I'm just kind of, like, there's really nothing to watch anymore. I'm just waiting for Westworld to come back, and then after Westworld, I got, Game of Thrones to look forward to. So, yeah, however, since I left the podcast, well, I didn't really leave the podcast, but ever since I stopped doing it, that week that I stopped, I went to San Antonio, and there's a little outlet store in like a little outlet mall called CD Sam, and basically there they sell used. He sells used DVDs, used Blu-rays, used CDs, and used records. And we discovered him one time, and I got like 2 records from there, and then I got a couple from Half Price Books and whatnot. But it was AC. Let me bring out the records. Hang on, one moment. All right, so I brought them here, and okay, I had some records. Like I had an old turntable. It was like one of those multi-turntables. It was like a radio, and a CD player, tape player, all a cassette player, and all that stuff in one. And it wasn't terrible, but like it really wasn't made very well. Granted, now I got a new one, and I believe it's the Audio-Technica AT-LP60 stereo turntable. That thing works wonders. It sounds really good. I hook it up to my Blu-ray player surround sound system. Anyways, so the first time I had like a couple oops, sorry. I had a couple vinyls. I had, let me see. I'm going through them. Bear with me, please. I'm just going to pull out the ones that I already had. I had Parallel Lines by Blondie. Not her best, but certainly not her worst. In fact, it's actually a really good one. I had Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. Another good one. Not my favorite, but it's a good one. Let's see. This one, a really good one. Which Amanda's probably gonna get jealous if she sees this. Fleetwood Mac Rumors. That one's really good. Let's see. And I believe the majority of the rest were just, I had some 45s. Like I have a oh god, that sounded weird. A Pat Benatar one. And this one, that one's pretty good. That one's alright. Oops. But nothing to write home about. And the rest I all had was like Story of Star Wars, Story of Battlestar Galactica, the Star Wars soundtrack, the usual. But then I go and keep in mind, like I really like music. Everybody likes music, but like I really liked music, but I wasn't that like into it. But now like I've kind of gotten really into it, because for one I saw them, but two, my friend Amanda, I can't bring her a lot. She's like she's like one of my best friends. Um, she reminded me about vinyl, and I remember one time, one of the first nights we started talking. Believe it was just that Saturday, that weekend. For one, we stayed up till like 6 a.m. talking on the phone because like we just kept bringing up movies and TVs and stuff and like seeing what we're all into. And she mentioned how she had or like the music she's into and stuff, and how she had records and stuff. And I was like, I remember that. In fact, I got her A Night at the Opera by Queen for her birthday. Anywho, so I was just like, you know what? Like, these are pretty cool. Like, I remember these. Like, and I have a turntable and I don't really use it, so might as well put it to use. So I go to see, like, I see there and I'm just like, Back in Black by AC/DC. Can't really see it that well. Kind of having to work the camera. It's kind of weird. Back in Black by AC/DC. And I think this one was like labeled for like $16 something. And granted, it's used, but I mean, it was kind of like, that's a really good one. So I see that, and then I see that's not it. That's not it. "1984" by Van Halen. A really good one. If you're a rock fan, you gotta have this in your collection, along with Back in Black. Sorry, you gotta have it. But this one was also really good, and those are the only two that got those two from CD Sam. Hang on, one moment. Oh, Valeria, it's Obi-Wan in the background. It's last month was Luke in Stormtrooper disguise. I think I got it before Obi-Wan came out. I mean, before Luke came out. But yeah, I'm really nerdy. Okay, so after that, hopefully y'all could still hear me fine. We went to Half Price Books, and what did I get from Half Price Books? Let's see. Got that one. I really enjoy talking about this stuff. Hey, we're the monkeys, and people say we monkey around. Where would I get this? No. Actually, no, you know what? I had gotten that one yet, I think. Okay, this is all I got. So then we go to Half Price Books. And there, okay, one thing to keep in mind about me, my favorite band is the Beatles. So anything Beatles that I find, like record-wise, mine. Which I sadly let one go recently, and I kind of regret it, and I kind of don't, but I kind of regret it, and I kind of don't. But I mean, I can get it at some point, but then it's also kind of like, it's pretty rare because I'm pretty sure it's out of like they don't press it anymore. It's live at the BBC. If it was Beatles Anthology 1, mine. Anyways, so there I find their first US released album, Meet the Beatles, which is pretty cool. It's an original one. Granted, it's not the best condition, but it's pretty cool. So I found that one. I found Don't Look Back by Boston. I would have preferred... Is it Boston by Boston? I'm pretty sure their first album is just called Boston. And that's the one with More Than a Feeling and Peace of Mind and all those songs. And that one's really good. But this one's not bad either. This has a really good song. And then found a whole bunch of Monkeys. which if you're a 60s fan, you should listen to the Monkees. It's pretty good stuff. Sounds a lot like the Beatles, if you like the sound of the Beatles. Early Beatles. You know, and there's more of the Monkees. And then I believe this is their first released album after the show started. Because I know the first two were with the show, but I think this is their first one that like they just made without any music from the show. That's Headquarters. And then actually a very underrated band, The Pretenders, Learning to Crawl. This is a really good one also. Middle of the Road, Back on the Chain Gang. Really good one. So that's what I got at Half Price Books. But then I was on a hunt. Because me being the rock fan that I am, I wanted more classic rock. And a very notorious album piqued my curiosity because I hadn't heard it in a while. And I heard a couple songs from it, but not the full thing. Let me see, where is it? There's that one. I ended up getting two that outing. First of all, I walked out with Queen's greatest hits. Well, it's not the best one. It's got the majority of the songs that I love. It's all the greatest hits, so it's all the stuff you know. It's all the, really mainstream songs. However, I was looking for this. For those of you that don't know, this is Led Zeppelin 4. Contains songs such as Black Dog, Stairway to Heaven, Rock and Roll, and such. And it's very good. Oh, Amanda, you missed it. I already mentioned you like a bunch of times. And I found it because I hadn't been looking forward to it. I had been looking for it, and I found a whole bunch of remasters of it. And this is right when I was getting into vinyl, which was basically like the beginning of this year. So no, it's okay. I basically said it's okay, Amanda, if you had to leave. You're here now. Plus, all I mentioned was, how I have rumors and you don't. But it was before I really got into it, and now I know, but had I known that a lot of the remasters are big named albums like this, Dark Side of the Moon, all the Beatles remasters, Rumors, everything. It's all 180 gram vinyl. I prefer getting 180 gram vinyl than this because, for one, it has a better feel on the hands when you're placing it and stuff. It's not as flimsy if you need to one-hand it. And also, if you have a turntable that somewhat bounces a lot, if it doesn't have a very heavy hand, a very heavy arm, like Crosley is a very good starting brand, but I don't recommend getting it if you're really into it. 180 gram vinyl is the way to go because it's heavyweight and it stays down, and you don't have to worry. Because the thing with records also, the older they are, the more probably, for one, scratched and probably warped they are. Because that's a problem with these. If you don't stack these properly, if you don't take care of them, if they're in bad heated conditions and stuff, they'll warp. And so when you're listening to them, it'll bounce. Let's say this, I'm trying to get it as flat as can. Let's say this is the record, right? And it's going and it's spinning. Instead of just staying in a nice continuous state of flat, it'll be like this. And it'll keep, rotating and bouncing, and it sounds terrible. It causes your needles skip, and you won't get good sound. There's a little record lesson for you. But anyways, I found it and that was great, and I listened to this thing to death. In fact, probably gonna listen to this thing in a bit. Kind of been in the mood. So that was the first trip there, and then the trip after, yeah, when I already started to stop the podcast, is when I made my major coup. Okay. Now the thing with CD Sam is that you can trade in vinyls and anything, and he'll give you store credit or cash. Of course, we take store credit. And he even like when you're taking a good amount of like albums and stuff, he'll knock like $2-3 off of it. Like he'll knock prices and he'll bargain and stuff. And he's really good. Highly recommend that you go look it up if you can and go there. You know, just don't steal all the good stuff before I get there. Okay, ignore that. So yeah. But this time, being the fact that the Beatles is my favorite band and stuff, I didn't have a lot of Beatles. Okay, and I remember I had stopped listening to the Beatles for a while because no matter what, like, yeah, it's my favorite band, but I understand I listened to them to death. I mean, I at some point I just had enough of the Beatles, but then the Beatles station came out on the on Sirius XM channel 18, and for one, it was a disappointment at first, but then they did a top 100 Beatles songs, compared like by the audience. You know, you voted and stuff, and basically it was what they thought were the best Beatles songs. Number one was, of course, A Day in the Life, which at the time I did not really appreciate, but now, oh my god, it's a freaking amazing song. I highly recommend you listen to it. Anyways, so then like there was a lot of Beatles songs like I hadn't heard that I really enjoyed and stuff, and then I'm thinking, I like records and stuff. I don't have any Beatles records. How do I not have any Beatles records? You know, and so I saw I looked for all their studio releases, and I managed to find them all, like online, and then I made a list. So that was my mission. CD Sam, looking for Beatles. That's basically all I'm looking for. If I find anything else, I will gladly accept it, but mainly, I just want my Beatles. So, we got like $100 or so in in-store credit, so I'm already like, and then what does old Willie Comic Kid Guru come out with? Let me show you. So, okay, this I got afterwards. Well, okay, actually, in between those times, I got I actually bought records off of Amazon. The ones mainly I got, let's see, what did I get? For one, I got the Game of Thrones Season 6 soundtrack, which has a really cool vinyl to it, which, you know what, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. It's actually pretty cool. Let's see. It's a triple LP. Okay, and this is also the other thing with when it's not 180 gram vinyl, you'll get this sound. You don't want that. Anyways, so I don't know if you can see it. Let me try to angle the camera more to the light. Ignore that. So as you can see, first of all, it's upside down. But it's kind of a pictured LP in the back at least, and you have all the house crests. Awesome, right? I thought it was pretty cool. Which Season 6 has a great soundtrack. They all have a great soundtrack, honestly. Which, if you can, I'm pretty sure that the Season 3, if you're into getting records like me, the Season 3 LP is actually a red vinyl. So that's pretty cool. It's a red colored record. Anyway, so I got that one. That was the most. That had been the most recent one that I got before my major 2, which I'm getting to. So there's that. But okay. Until Star Wars, my favorite movie of the year, La La Land. Oh my lord, La La Land. Okay. Anyways, I can go on and on about it and gush about it, but I love the music, and I found out the time when I went and I got all the stuff from CD Sam and stuff. I couldn't. This. My brother gets me a lot of stuff, but this to me is the coolest thing that he's ever gotten me. The week before we went, I looked on Amazon. This was before I was even thinking about getting vinyls. I looked on Amazon, and I was looking at, like, okay, what different releases are there on Blu-ray of La La Land and stuff? You know, there's a steelbook. There's a one with an extra disc with bonus features and whatnot. And then I look on the soundtrack, and I see vinyl. And I'm like, no freaking way. And I look, and on Amazon, it was sold out. So I'm like, oh, well, no temptation there. I go... Oh, my lord. The words... Okay. Sorry. It's a lot of... My computer's being really slow. So we go to Barnes and Noble, and all of a sudden Mike pulls this out, and by that time I had no money, and him being the awesome older brother that he is, he got it for me. And I listened to this thing to death, and this is, out of all the vinyls that I have, this is my favorite. I love this soundtrack. It's freaking awesome. And then I found out that they had a score, and of course, me being me, I had to get the score, which I'm pretty sure y'all know what a score is. It's basically the actual, like, background soundtrack. Like, that was all, like, the singing and dancing music, and this is just the other stuff. But gotta have it for my La La Land collection. Anyway, so those two I got just, like, on Amazon. And then my grandma gave me Saturday Night Fever. Amazing soundtrack, by the way. If you're all in the disco and stuff, you gotta listen to this. This is just straight Bee Gees goodness. So yeah, and then what else? That was okay. So that was it. Okay, but then I'm hunting down my Beatles. Gotta get my Beatles fix. So the first thing I look at the Beatles ones. Out pops Rubber Soul. When they first started going different with their music, not boy band music. Great albums, but it's Rubber Soul. Oh, look at that. Pull out Revolver. Another great one. Not as good as Rubber Soul, but really good. Not done. The infamous White Album, titled The Beatles. A freaking amazing LP. Glad I found it, because he actually had two versions of the White Album. He had a remaster, which this is. I'm all about the remaster. When it comes to the Beatles, I'm all about the remasters, because 180 gram vinyl, and honestly, like, I'm not that hardcore into collecting these yet, but I'm pretty sure, like, maybe one day after I get all my Beatles on remaster, maybe I'll go back and get originals. But a freaking awesome one. Glad I was able to find it. He had one original one, but it was, like, yellowed. So, like, I was just like, you know what? It's a remaster. I'll just take it. It's nice and pearly white. You know, It's a beautiful condition, and it comes with all the inserts and stuff. That's the one thing about all these. They all come with all the inserts, except for one, which kind of ticks me off because you'll wait to see which one it is. Oh, and then also, sorry, the first time I went, I also found Let It Be. So I had some Beatles stuff. This was about the only Beatles I had. That and Meet the Beatles were the only Beatles I had. But then, the ultra infamous Abbey Road I found. And this one as well. Jesus, man. This is a really good one. Their last recorded album, actually, in case you guys didn't know that, The End, the song titled The End. That's the last time all four of them were in a recording studio. It's okay, you can let out the tears. So that was it. Okay, but then I'm just like, man, where's Sergeant Pepper? So I look up. Sergeant Pepper Lonely Heart Club Band. This is a freaking amazing one. This is my favorite Beatles record and album. I mean, this one, Jesus, man. It's one good tune after another. You got Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Great intro. The great thing about listening to this on a record is the first two songs are continuous and the last two songs are continuous, meaning they have great transitions into one another. And on the record, you really hear it, and it's like you're at a concert with this because you hear cheering and stuff in the background of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Try saying that 10 times. Try saying that 10 times fast. So you got that, and then immediately you have A Little Help from My Friends, one of my favorite Beatles songs. Then you have Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, LSD. Then you have Getting Better, pretty underrated song actually. Fixing a Hole, a really good song. You have She's Leaving Home, which that's alright. Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, I think that one was pretty good. That one wasn't that bad. Kind of there. In my opinion, the worst song on this LP, Within You, Without You, it's freaking George Harrison's sitar shit. I mean, I hate that stuff. Maybe it'll be one of those things that when I'm older I'll enjoy, but for now, I hate it. I think it's so sleepy and boring. I skip these songs every time. When I'm 64, another really good one. Lovely Rita. That was not bad. Good Morning, Good Morning. Definitely the lowest of the low on this one. Besides Within You, Without You. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band Reprise. A more upbeat version of that. More rock and roll one. And then the forever infamous A Day in the Life. Dude, this album, oh my god. The only thing with this album, for one, it's an original. It's not an original stereo, or else you'd have a big yellow thing that said stereo on top. But it's an original mono. And it's my only original Beatles one, besides Meet the Beatles, but UK release-wise, it's the only original one that I have. And I'm glad it's this one. But eventually I would love to get a remaster of Sgt. Pepper. For one, the remaster is in stereo. And this, sadly, it doesn't come with like all the inserts and stuff. It doesn't even have the same sleeve. The sleeve is like a red pool of blood looking thing because Paul is dead, aka Fall. By the way, if you want to see a pretty good kind of like, I guess you could call it a documentary, watch George Harrison, Paul Really Is Dead, or Paul McCartney Really Is Dead. That one is freaking scary, the stuff that you see. It's just a whole bunch of. It's a big giant conspiracy. Which, if you're a Beatles fan, you gotta know. Like the P for Paul with the guitar into a mirror. It makes like an X and stuff, and I think it's like the day he died or something, if I remember. But that's this one. Are people that he jokingly said like he would like to attend his funeral and stuff. Supposedly, Paul is a standee, and in the back, Paul McCartney's also the only one that's facing backwards. It's just a whole bunch of shit. I really don't know if he is or isn't, because like I said, continue with that just real quick because I'm nerdy. Abbey Road. Okay. Like this car. This is the biggest one. This car. If you draw a straight line, it'll hit Paul McCartney. And then each member of the Beatles is a representing somebody about death. George is the gravedigger. Paul, the dead man. I believe Ringo. You think Ringo's the missionary, and George is the priest in white, or unless those two are reversed. It's something like that. You have Death. This guy in the background, always watching. Out of everybody here, what is George, Ringo, and John? They're all stepping off with their left foot. Paul is the only one holding stepping in the right foot. Paul McCartney is also holding a cigarette, which they refer to as a dead man's coffin, a dead man's nail. Basically a nail in the coffin, signifying that. And the license plate, right? Why am I doing it like this? Hang on. I'm going to try something. This is when I could really try all this weird software that I got out. It's all lingo. Let us see. Just give me a second. Oh my god. The license plate states, it has numbers, and I'm going to try to my best ability to show you. Let me see. I really can't see it, but it says 28 if. Paul McCartney would have been 28 years old if he had not died. Pretty freaky, eh? And then you have a skull-looking thing in the background. Oh, that's... Nope, that's not it. That. So there's a little bit of Beatles knowledge for you. See? You learn all sorts of things in the Comic Kid Guru podcast. It ain't all just about comics and kids. Wait, what? What? And so I found all those Beatles ones. Along with, I got more. Let's see. Oh, I actually have 2 viewers. Why, hello there. I got the Cars Greatest Hits, which is a pretty good one. ELO's Greatest Hits. I would have been happier if it was out of the blue, but this one's really good. The Rolling Stones Greatest Hits. You gotta have some Stones in your collection. Which, I buy all their separate stuff, but I'm not that big a Rolling Stones fan, so like, I'll take what I can get. It's all the songs that I really like, anyways. The Joshua Tree by U2. This is freaking awesome. This is a really good one, dude. This is a really, really good one. And oh yeah, another one that I got at Half Price Books the first time I got Wall of Voodoo. Call of the West. I got this only for one song, Mexican Radio. The actual good version of Mexican Radio. Not a weird cover, and certainly not some freaking rap one by DJ Coolio or some stupid name. Like, I don't even know who sings it. It's some dumb rapper. And it's a piece of crap. But nah, also, I had gotten 5150. The beginning of Van Hagar. So that was all CD Sam. And then okay. Now the Barnes & Noble that I had gone to, this is all in San Antonio, by the way, that I had gone to, they had a little middle, like, island area with LPs and records and stuff. And then that was about it. So, but we go to this other Barnes & Noble, and I go to the back. Holy crap. Nothing but records in the back, music and movies and stuff, and I'm just like, now the only thing with Half Price Book with Barnes & Noble, it's all full price. So for, let's say, if you want Daft Punk Random Access Memories, aka RAM, you're gonna be paying about $40 and such for these LPs. I mean, they're freaking pricey there. Especially if it's a double LP. If it's a double LP, oh Lord, oh my God. But there, I'd gotten almost every Beatles album that I really wanted, except for 2. Well, 3, but 2 were actually studio release, and the other one was just like a greatest hits. So what do I find? A Hard Day's Night soundtrack. Really good one. My second favorite Beatles album, Help. Oh my God, Help. This one has freaking really good songs. You got Help, The Night Before, You've Gotta Hide Your Love Away, and no, You're Gonna Lose That Girl, Ticket to Ride, I've Just Seen a Face, Yesterday, Dizzy Miss Lizzy. This is a bomb one, dude. And the only other Beatles one that I was looking for, really, because a lot of Beatles music is just singles and stuff, so you won't get, like, with the albums, you'll get a lot of their really good songs, but, like, you'll also miss a lot of songs, like, Love Me Do, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand. A lot of their breakthrough stuff, you know, Long Tall Sally, I Feel Fine, Day Tripper, Paperback Writers, etc. They're all singles, so unless you ever get the singles, you're not gonna get it. But I was able to find it, and it's Beatles Past Masters. It's volume 1 and 2. It was originally released as 2 volumes, but I was able to, like, the newer ones are just released in 1 LP. And it's really cool. I mean, it's a lot of their singles and stuff. A lot of the singles that I like, at least. So that really helped. And I believe that was really it for that trip. Was it? Yes, it was. Really awesome. Um, anyways, when I came, I'm gonna put some of these back, so please bear with me as I'm talking to you. I'm gonna like at least angle it like right here, so maybe you can hear me better. Um, when I came back, I listened to all of them continuous because I don't have a life. I do have a life. Um, anyways, and it was so much fun listening to all these. I mean, there's just nothing like sitting down, listening to a record continuously. It's one of the best things ever. If you're a music fan, um, anyways, I'm almost done here. Just bear with me. I have them all alphabetically. That's why. Anyways, so that was pretty much it. But some of the harder Beatles records to find, it's kind of hard to. You can find "Please Please Me" pretty easily. Yellow Submarine, Magical Mystery Tour. Which don't ever see Magical Mystery Tour the movie. Okay, if you're a Beatles fan, you have to see it once. But don't ever see it again. It is Jesus. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And that's being that I've seen Sharknado. Ow! Crap, sorry. So there was that, but you really cannot find With the Beatles is a hard one to find. I haven't actually seen that one at all up close. And Beatles for Sale is another one. Granted, those two are kind of a lot of their weaker stuff and a lot of the weaker albums, but if you're a Beatles fan, you gotta have them in your collection. So the hardest one to find, besides Meet the Beatles, was this little one. So I was able to get Beatles for Sale from eBay, which was pretty cool. Of course, beautiful condition. It was brand new. And that was it for that trip. I say it as if it wasn't a lot. It was a lot, dude. And I was just like, oh my lord. But then recently, me and my I was able to recently I was listening like then I became like then I made a list of ones that I really wanted. And on the list, I'm gonna name some of the ones off the list real quick. They're on my phone. Okay. So let me see. I have a lot of notes, and it's in my notes, so it's kind of a pain. Where is it? Where is it? Where the hell is my? I think my list is here. Oh God, is that how bad the quality is? I didn't know it was this bad. Jeez. Okay, so Here we go. It took me a... Okay. So on my list, number 1, And Justice for All by Metallica. Number 2, Pure Heroin by Lorde. Okay, number 2 is Pure Heroin by Lorde. Number 3 was Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. 4, of course, after that, it's all the Beatles stuff. Please Please Me by the Beatles, Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles. Basically, the main 2 that I want. I could give 2 shits about Yellow Submarine, because Yellow Submarine, Jesus Christ, that's a terrible soundtrack. Other than Yellow Submarine, it's bad. Meet the Beatles is kind of lame. It's not terrible, but it's not their best. Yeah. One that I actually didn't know was going to be released January 19th, Melodrama by Lorde. Oh my god, Melodrama! Woohoo! Anyways, 7, Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. Shout out to Ernest. Just to clarify one quick thing. Just real quick. Guns N' Roses only has 3 good songs, and I wish Ernest was here so he can hear it. You know what their good songs are? Paradise City, Sweet Child of Mine, and Welcome to the Jungle. If you're a Guns N' Roses fan, I'm sorry if I just triggered you, but you know what? Accept the truth. They're not the best band. And that was pretty much it, but that was my list. So upon making that list, like 2-3 days later, my audio video crew and me, shout out to Amanda, by the way, and Mr. Sanchez. Oh god, we go on, and first of all, like nobody really knew how much I was what. What, the All-Star trip also? I'm sorry, I'm... Are you talking about Guns N' Roses? Anyways, the trip was pretty funny. For one, we had to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I didn't sleep till easily 12 somewhere. And I kept waking up because I got anxious. So already, like, I only had like 30, maybe an hour of sleep. And sorry, Amanda, I don't like that song. Anyways, so like I've already like I'm drowned out. And I didn't sleep on the way there. Hardly anybody slept on the way there. The car was so cold. Jesus. And you know, I don't know, it was like anxiety. So that was that. We go to UTSA, which disappointed me. If you want to hear about the UTSA, soon on Eagle Pro, I think it'll be. Amanda, will it be on that they're making for the San Antonio trip? I think it'll be. Anyways, there'll be like an interview and stuff with me and my friends and stuff on it, and everybody that went to the trip, talking about their thoughts about the San Antonio trip overall. But anyways, we went there and stuff. But the big for one, like I really wanted to go to these places also, and plus I wanted to hang out with my friends. But not only that, but like we're like supposedly on the like there was an itinerary. Anyways, whatever. Of itinerary of like all the plans, and like my teacher had everything exact. Like Jesus Christ. And on it, they put like lunch slash half price books slash Hog Wild Records, and they made the mistake of saying Hog Wild Records to old Willie Boy, the record comic kid guru. So I made a list and I had some money, and I'm just like, okay, Hog Wild Records, let's do this shit. We go to half price books, right? Like everything's fine. We go to PBS. We go to PBS, KLRN, sorry. UTSA, and then we go to eat. No, and then we go to half price books. And a good amount of money on me. But I didn't get anything at half price books. Like I saw a couple Beatles CDs. They're right here. Abbey Road, because one of our vehicles doesn't have Sirius XM anymore, and gotta listen to some Beatles. And Please Please Me, which I got it in some form at least. But I didn't really get anything. No books, no movies. I saw some movies that I wanted. I didn't get anything because we're going to Hog Wild Records. Well, we didn't go to Hog Wild Records. We went to a park. Oh my God, dude. Like, I got so sad. My list was so useless. Oh man. But I really that was kind of a disappointment. But it was a fun trip. It was so much fun. I met some people that are actually really good friends now. Shout out to Iliana if you're watching this. Sky High ain't Sky High. Honestly, the movie Sky High makes the Avengers look like great value. It was a fun trip overall. But anyways, so that was a letdown record wise, but last weekend, I'm gonna keep everything somewhat confidential, but stuff happened, and so I was back on the hunt with records. Oh, that is true, Amanda. We did just go to a parking lot. It wasn't even a park. It wasn't even a park that we went to. Like, it was weird. Like, it was near a park, and it looked like a zoo, but a parking lot and some couple trees and stuff. The coolest thing there was train tracks and a train that took forever to go around. So if you literally wanted to end your life right there, you couldn't even do it because the train was so slow, and it was on the other side of San Antonio. It felt like. The thing was funny. And they're just oh, now you show up. Anyways, we went recently with records. Didn't have many funds, but it basically I would have had enough to get what I needed. So, and I found Coldplay Viva La Vida, a really good one. Because I kind of wanted to get more modern somewhat with my music also, to differentiate and have some diversity. So I got that one. It wasn't on my list, but it's Coldplay and stuff. Now, Rush of Blood by Coldplay would have been a really nice one to find, but they didn't have that one. But it's Viva La Vida. That's a good one. I found it. Dark Side of the Moon. Woo! I still haven't actually been able to listen to this, dude. I cannot believe I haven't been able to listen to this. The only time I had any time to actually listen to it, I had to go help with the Christmas decorations and stuff. But this is a beautiful freaking album. I don't want to take it out or anything. You know what? I'm gonna take it out. It's a freaking awesome one. It's a remaster, by the way. What the biggest tell that it's the remaster from 2016 when Pink Floyd opened up their record studio, Pink Floyd Records, is that the original is a shiny feel, and it's kind of Like it shines. The 2011 release is the same way, but the 2016 one, I'm gonna sound so weird, but it's a beautiful matte. Like you can hear it. You hear that? How's that for some ASMR? Oh God, it's a gorgeous album. Color pops. The black and the color pops on the matte beautifully. Oh God. And then you open it. Hang on, let me see. And then you open it and you got this and then it comes with all the inserts like the posters and stuff. And then you get it and you feel that 180 gram vinyl. Beautiful. So there's that one. Hang on, I gotta make sure everything closes properly. I don't want this thing falling out. But okay, ever since this year, when she released her new album, Melodrama, Lorde has since become easily my favorite artist, modern artist, and singer. I freaking love her, right? But I don't have any vinyls by her. It turns out Melodrama is only going to be available over like in Canada on Amazon January 19th, and it turns out the only way you can buy Pure Heroin besides eBay is Amazon over in Canada. So I got kind of sad, but I was just like, maybe they'll have it, because like I was hoping that where I went they would have had it, and lo and behold, they had Pure Heroin. Dude, this vinyl, I went last week, like where I went last weekend, I had gotten this. Granted, this is only like a 37-minute vinyl. Like the whole album is only like 37 minutes long. I got it, and I've played it 4 or 5 times. I'm playing this thing to death. It's amazing. And, you know, so, like, a lot of modern albums also, they're very cheaply made, like, some of them. Like, they'll be, like, 120 gram vinyl, which isn't that cheap, because, like, no matter what, you're still making a vinyl. But, it won't have a lot of inserts and stuff, but you open it up. First of all, beautiful matte finish. You open it up, and you have the first lyrics to the, team. You got a picture of Lorde, and then this is what a lot of vinyls need to come with. For one, they need to have gatefolds, dude. Gatefold vinyls are beautiful. But then it has a lovely book, like a lovely like booklet, and you know in it you have all the lyrics to the songs and stuff, and it's not cheaply made either. It's really nicely made. You know, you have a lovely picture of Lorde right there. You got all the thank yous and like a forward, like not really a forward, but a thank you and stuff. You got another lovely picture. And it's so freaking beautiful. I love this album. I would say Melodrama is still is a much better album, but this, dude, oh my god, this is beautiful. I love this thing. But that's pretty much, I really like my vinyl. In fact, you know, I'm probably gonna listen to some in a bit, maybe. But I'm really happy. It's not, but those are like the really good ones, like Moon, retail wise, that one's like 40 or 50, so they're pricey, but they're not as pricey as the Hot Toys I used to get, which, by the way, as you notice, like, well, you wouldn't notice because you haven't seen it before, but I don't have my Avengers anymore. I still have my Marvel Legends though, and I still have my Star Wars ones, but I don't have my Avengers anymore, but that's fine. And I'll those figures are like $200, $300, etc. Like they're pricey figures, dude. Like even the Marvel Legends sometimes are really pricey to get. Like this Hulk Build-A-Figure alone, to get all the pieces, it was like $120 for the Hulk. Granted, I sold some of the characters, but it's still $120 freaking dollars. But I love the vinyl. It's a really, like, it's a good hobby. It's a good way to listen to music. Then you get curious and you read about it, and it's really cool. But how long have we been going for? I'm going for 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is definitely the longest episode of Comic Kid Guru. But I guess that makes up for the lack of events. Since then again, I've been making like 30-minute episodes, 40-minute episodes. You cut this up with about 4, 5, maybe 3 episodes alone. So I definitely enjoyed this. This was definitely a lot more fun with a live stream. You know, you have people coming in and out. You know, it's one-on-one. The whole thing with the face cam I find is way better. Granted, it's a really crappy quality webcam. I'm just using the standard Mac cam. But, you know, it's one-on-one. So, like, if I wanted to, like, show you something, I could show you something. If I want to bring something up, I can bring something up. And it's a lot better. For some reason in this, I'm actually stuttering a lot less than how I would stutter. And not be continuous when I would just record off the hook. It feels a lot more natural like this. So I will definitely actually keep it up like this. Once again, I apologize for everything that's been going for the whole absence of my videos and stuff. I'm going to try to not do that as much. There will be days definitely when I just don't feel like recording. But like this is definitely a lot more fun, and I definitely want to get back into it, get back into the groove, get back my schedule and bring it back. Granted, there's some weeks when I just don't have something to talk about, and I may not do it, but I may like save it up and then have a nice episode like this. You know, it's 2 hours, but you know what? It's 2 hours that people could come in and out, and I talk, and I can enjoy it. Because like I said, this has been a really bad week. Like it really wasn't a good week. I'm surprised I even did this, but you know what? It's time I stop being lazy and I actually do stuff and I get into it. So, I hope you all enjoyed this. I certainly did. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Well, comment if you're watching this late, because I will be posting this. But don't forget to like and comment, and definitely subscribe. If you really enjoy this, please give me a subscribe. I promise I'll bring more. There'll be more Comic Kid Guru anyway. But other than that, this has been Comic Kid Guru. Back at you again, but this time signing off. Have yourselves a good day and have yourself a good night.